All right, hello. I'm Joey Pitt, and this is Casey Sullivan, and we are designers on the Fluent design team at Microsoft. And so what that means is that we design all the controls and patterns and capabilities that work on the Windows platform. So all the stuff that you could use when you're developing Windows experiences. And just to give you a little bit of context about our talk, I know that most of you are developers. Are there any designers in the? Awesome. So this is going to be one of the few design sessions, design talks at Build. But just for your reference, there's going to be quite a few other talks that will go into more detail about Fluent, and will give you more technical, go into more technical depth about what Fluent is. And so we're going to be spending the next 20 minutes talking about the tools that we use to design with at Microsoft, and some of the tools that we create for you guys to use at Microsoft that we'll be shipping pretty soon. So as Satya mentioned this morning, and as you're going to hear more about in some of those other talks later, Fluent is about creating really immersive and engaging experiences on Windows, and experiences that work naturally on each device, whether you're in the HoloLens or desktop or Xbox environment. And more than ever, we really want to create experiences that are intuitive and powerful so that you can create really productive experiences. But a question I get all the time is that's great, but what does that mean for me? How do I make Fluent apps? What does it mean to make a Fluent app? And so we know that the design system only works and makes sense if you have all the tools and resources that you need to build these experiences. And so we want to make sure that we give that to you. So real quick, if you guys go to developer.microsoft.com, whack design, all the stuff that we're going to be talking about today is there. And like I said, I know that most of you are developers, but if you're not also a designer, you probably work with designers to create the user experiences. And so sometimes it's useful to just jump right in and start coding, but many times for a variety of reasons, what you want to do is use a design tool like Adobe XD or Sketch or some other tool to try out a bunch of ideas first. And we know it can be frustrating for the design to development workflow if the designs that are created don't have any relationship to the framework that is being used to implement all the code. And so part of that whole tools, workflow stuff that I was talking about needs to include design toolkits as well. So Casey and I are going to spend 20 minutes talking about these tools and giving you an update on some of our toolkits that we have available to you again on these toolkits. And I'm going to pass it over to KC now, and she's going to do a little demo of how to build one of these apps. This is an end-to-end sample that we're going to be demoing in lots of different talks. We're not going to be showing you live working code here, but it is being demoed over in the UX section on the floor, and various other technical talks are going to go into the actual building of this app. Think of this app, this end-to-end sample, as a lighting control app for your smart home. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to KC.
Hi, I'm Casey. So as you can see here, this is the app that we're going to be using to show the design process. It's basically a smart lights controlling app, and here I can change the color of the bulbs, and there's also a shop flow involved with it as well. Today we're going to be designing this screen, though, the My Lights screen. So let's get designing. So I'm going to actually go from the beginning in XD. And as Joey mentioned, the toolkits are available on the web, and XD is also a great tool that has the link to that site right here under UI Kits Microsoft Windows. But we're actually going to look at a preview version of the next release. And so here's our toolkit, and let's make this a little bigger. And so this has all of our common controls as they are true to the platform. The toolkit is a really good place to start when you're beginning to design an app. It has all of our common controls as they are, and it's a good baseline to start with. And you'll see as I pan around in here, there are a bunch of different updates if you're familiar with the platform or Fluent today. You'll see a few changes, some new things. And since we only have 20 minutes today, I'm not going to go into great detail about every single change, but just at a high level, there are a bunch of actions, buttons, navigation, and some other elements like color and type. Also, some material in there as well. So let's go back to the Van Arsdale app. And another place where you can get the toolkit inside of XD is right here, Get UI Kits and Microsoft Windows. But let's go back into Van Arsdale. So here is our app. And to save a little bit of time, I've already copied and pasted all of the controls, all of the ingredients that we'll be using to create this app. I've got all of my common controls here, and then also some custom UI that I've already drawn. And I've also prepared my work area with a common desktop window size, desktop screen size of 1920 by 1080, and also I have the app window with the Chrome at the default size that it opens to. And also, since our app does have that immersive 3D content in the center, I've put a placeholder image of one of the lamps as well. So when you're starting to design an app, a good place to start is with navigation, as it sets the overall structure of the app. So I'm going to come up here to our nav view, and I'm going to copy and paste that in. And so the nav view is, this format of the nav view is new this release. Joey, did you want to talk about some of the new features here?
So we work really hard to provide complete, robust tools with our toolkit, with our framework, so that you guys have everything you need right out of the box. But we know we can't design for every single case that you have, and so we work really hard to make sure that we balance that completeness and robustness of the control with component flexibility. So as you can see here, there are multiple sections to this control, including various custom areas, so that you can do lots of custom UI in your navigation. So if you have a simple app like this one, you can use it out of the box, and if you have a more complex app, you can add customization or use lightweight styling to style the app control as well.
This app is a relatively simple app, and we don't have search functionality. I'm just going to go ahead and hide the search box there. So now we've got our navigation laid in, and I'm going to go to the desktop preview mode, like we were in before, just for ease of presenting this. So this is another screen that I've already put together. You can see that I've updated our navigation with the correct page titles, and then also laid in our different panels, here being the list selector, or the lamp selector panel, and also the properties panel.
And since there's this 3D immersive background, in this case, we want the UI to feel like it's floating above that 3D environment. And so there's a new depth system that we're introducing in the next release of Windows with real projected shadows. You're going to hear a lot more about that in some of the other talks. But in this case, we're using those projected shadows on this custom UI surface to give you that sense of depth. So these aren't just standard drop shadows. They're real light-directed shadows.
And in this screen, I've already laid in a grid view for our lamp selector, and also a custom button up at the top to add another room to this view. And as you can see, there's like a lot of little lines here. Like there is an underline underneath the group header, and I already have a divider here, and there's a bunch of horizontal lines that are happening in this one view. And with lightweight styling, I can actually make this line transparent and kind of customize the way that is presented. So the controls are flexible enough to be able to suit your content. And if I just go into see, here's the screen with all of those items populated, and the underline isn't here. But also about the grid view, I'm actually going to switch back over to the design view. Bear with me for a moment. And one of the reasons why we chose grid view here as opposed to one of our other collection controls like list view is we have some full bleed content here, some text up at the bottom, and then there's also, with grid view comes a little bit of space and margins and padding as opposed to having it go edge to edge. So picking the right control for your content is important. And another great thing about using the grid view control is I can do other things pretty easily, like put in some input-specific contextual commanding, here being the context menu. This just happens to be the mouse sizing, but not only can you select the lamps to modify their appearance here, but you can also manage them and do things like rename, delete, or move them to a different group. So that's this area here. And
you'll notice here with these context menus, there's a subset of our transitory UI that we're updating in the next release of Windows to include this depth system by default. So you'll see the same projected shadows without any custom code being used here.
Mm-hmm. And also because we've used the grid view, we can easily add a swipe control to host those same commands. So again, rename and delete are available here. And this just gives me a good idea as to what the app will actually look like.
Yeah, and so when we say the slide at the beginning that I showed that talked about being natural on each device, this is what we mean. We want to make sure that we optimize for any type of input that's going to be available on the device that you are using. And a lot of times that's a desktop PC with various inputs, speech, mouse, touch. And so all of our controls come optimized for those inputs.
And now moving on to the properties panel, I've also dragged in a toggle switch to power the lights and some other controls here. And when dropping in a new control into an area like this, it might be tempting to move around the pieces of the control, like this header, for example, or this on-off text. Even the toggle switch itself, you might want to, I don't know, like remove some of those items. However, having a header that tells you exactly what it is that you're going to be turning on and off, and also maintaining that on and off text retains the clarity of the control, so you really know what you're going to get when you actually interact with that button. And go ahead.
I was going to interrupt. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. So the other thing that's nice about, if you use the common controls that ship with the platform, you can be sure that we do a lot of exhaustive testing to make sure that we ship controls that are as clear and simple as possible. And in addition to clarity here, you might need to localize your strings in different languages. And so this layout of this control makes sure that no matter what language it is in, no matter how many characters, that the control is not going to break.
Yes. And also some other controls that I've just dropped in here straight from the toolkit are the slider and also these radio buttons. And also, let's see. We also have a flyout with the color picker. And again, here's another place where we're using the transient UI styles as well, so you can see some of that acrylic popping through there.
Yeah, and I'll add too. So we talked about acrylic last year at Build, and since then we've gotten a lot of great feedback, and we've learned a lot about how to use this kind of new component, new capability. And so we're updating some of the guidance for acrylic usage this year. We found that it's really useful in places to kind of emphasize the temporary nature of UI. So transient surfaces like flyouts and menus are a great place to use acrylic. And so this is an example of the flyout control that uses that as well.
Yes. And I'm going to hide that. And also, there are still moments inside of apps where you might want to do some custom UI, and it might be because there is functionality that is special for your app, or you just want to present the content in a really unique way. So we do have a few custom areas here also in this presets area, and also in this color picker and the swatch. And
you don't have to, with this custom UI, even when you're designing custom UI, by using our toolkits, you don't have to start from scratch. So you could kind of take elements or capabilities from other things. So whether it's the icon set or the type size or the same projected shadows that are used in other controls. And so if you use those in your custom UI, you have a big head start in the design of your experience.
And so let's go back into the preview. And here I've updated all of the content here. So we've got all of the text labels updated for this app. So awesome. We've got a relatively out-of-the-box styled app, using the controls.
Yeah, and this is great. But a lot of you guys represent brands, and brands come with your own colors. And one thing that's been kind of difficult in the last couple of years with Windows app design is, Windows by default uses the user-defined accent color, which is great. It puts the user in control. But if you want to represent your brand in a really powerful way, you might want to override those user accent colors with your own brand colors. And there are hundreds of resources that you have to update in order to make that happen. And you have to manage the accessibility of all the color values, whether my text should be white or black. What about all the hover states? And so this, we spent the bulk of this time talking about Adobe XD, but we're also in the design department at Microsoft working on shipping some tools that you can use to make this process of color management a lot more easy. And so Casey is going to show you one of these new tools that we're going to release in a couple months. And this is a color demo tool where, and the goal of this is to, like I said, make the designer and developer workflow a lot easier. So a designer could come in and say, look, my colors are black and gold for this brand, or red, or whatever it is, and I want to see what that looks like cascaded through the app. So you have a bunch of controls kind of shown here in different states, and I can go in and change those colors and see the impact that has on all these controls and all these various states. And we do all the hard work to make sure that we know when to flip the text from black to white so that the UI is always legible. And then the best part of it is at the end, you can press the export button. And this is where the designer to developer workflow is really useful. So you have all of this XAML that you can just copy and paste into your project and update all the colors. So you don't have to go through one by one and then have to check the effect of that is. So
yeah, it helps that handoff be a lot more seamless, and so nothing gets lost in translation when you're making any custom application of colors. So let's go back to our app, and using something like that, the color app, I'm able to update a bunch of pieces to my UI to the Van Arsdale brand. You can see I've added the purple up at the top and some gold in the selection states.
Yeah, so that's it. And like I said at the beginning, here's some links for all the guidance and toolkit downloads and sample apps. This sample app, all the source code for it, as well as these XD files, will be available in the next couple of months on developer.microsoft.com. And all of our toolkits are available at this URL as well. And we're going to be updating all of those with the new Fluent updates for the next release of Windows pretty shortly. And then once again, there's lots of UX-oriented talks. Ours is only one of them. And here they are. Specifically, the Fluent design, evolving our design system, that's the other kind of very design-oriented talk. It'll give you kind of a 30,000-foot overview of all the updates for Fluent. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I think we have some time for questions if anybody has questions. Yeah. React Fluent for web, basically, is what you're talking about. Yeah, so there's no Fluent web kind of solution right now. Although, as Satya mentioned this morning, XAML bridges and XAML islands are a big new thing. So what we're focused on in this next release of Windows is making sure that every Windows developer building client experiences can use all these new XAML elements. So whether you're building WinForms or WPF apps or other Win32 apps, you'll have access to this. For web right now, the Fabric Toolkit is a great place to start for web design, and we're working really closely with them. But we don't have anything official right now to talk about. Yeah.
Is there anything coming for Fluent and mixed reality and Hollow?
Yeah. If you're interested in Fluent and HoloLens, I would recommend going over to the composition team booth, and there's a couple talks here about creating innovative experiences for Fluent design using the visual layer, and Fluent path to spatial computing easy as 1, 2, 3. So 1 to 2D to 3D. And so now, if you have a XAML flat app on the HoloLens, it renders as a flat, basically texture in HoloLens. So we're working with the holographic side of the platform team to try to introduce some depth. So some of these areas where we're showing projected shadows and depth in desktop experiences, we're starting the exploration of introducing that into those experiences as well. And one thing I'll also just plug is at the Fluent booth, we have a lot of swag. So as you guys are leaving here, this gentleman right here has some cards, and you could redeem for some stuff. Shirts and whatnot. And I'll also say another really great case study that you should take a look at is Fluent Design System inside of Microsoft Office. Some folks from the OneNote team are going to talk about how they're productizing a lot of what you saw today in OneNote app. It's a great case study as well. So I'd take a look at that. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.